The Legend of Lover's Leap. In the 18th century, there were two slaves, Mizzy and Tunky. They were owned by the Yardley Chase Plantation in Santa Cruz, St. Elizabeth in Jamaica. Their paths crossed one day, and since then, they were inseparable. They shared an unconditional love that was so strong, it was hard to hide. Mizzy was a very beautiful girl, so much so that she caught the eye of her plantation owner, a man called Richard Chardley. He was the owner of the Yardley Chase Plantation and had such a passion for Mizzy that he would punish or kill any male slaves that even looked at her. Ever since Chardley noticed Mizzy, he could not stop himself from desiring her. Word of his infatuation with Mizzy quickly spread among other slave owners, as he refused to sell her and valued her at a really expensive price. Mizzy fell deeply in love with Tunky, and when Chardley found out, he plotted.
Follow Jamaican True Stories.
He had to have Mizzy to himself, and he thought that Tunky was the only thing stopping him from being with her on the low. He made an arrangement to sell Tunky to another plantation far away, so far that Mizzy would have no choice but to move on. When they heard of Chardley's plan, Mizzy and Tunky planned to sneak out of their quarters and run away together in the darkness of the night. They vowed to spend the rest of their lives together. Somehow Richard Chardley found out that she had been missing from her quarters, and it became a manhunt. Some say Mizzy's brother told Chardley because he resented Mizzy for being with Tunky. Desperate to find her, Chardley and his men searched and chased after them. They made up their minds that they will never be separated and ran. They ended up at the edge of a steep cliff. They were headed to the underground caves below it. The cliff was a 1,700 feet vertical drop down to the waves crashing on Cutlass Bay below. The peak was so high that you can also see clouds and birds flying below. With Chardley's mob approaching, they had little time to make a big decision. If they were caught, it was no telling what will happen to Tunky, since he was basically a male runaway slave and was hated by Chardley. Mizzy could not see a life living without him, so they both made up their minds. Instead of facing the consequences of being caught, separated, or even killed, they made a choice that would put Romeo and Juliet to shame. They held on tight unto each other's hands, and with a leap of faith, they jumped from the edge of the 1,700 feet cliff. A tragic end to a beautiful love affair and a start to a hopelessly romantic legend. It was said that an old woman, watching from the bushes nearby, swore they did not die. She said that the night sky caught them in a golden net, and they were seen sitting on top of the moon together as it sank below the horizon, among millions of stars.
Like, follow, and share Jamaican True Stories for more.
To learn more about Jamaican True Stories, go to the link in bio.